There are a ton of powerful cards in Part the Mistveil, but today I'm going to be going over the top 15 most powerful cards in all of Part the Mistveil. Hello and welcome to the table, and today I'm going to start things off talking about the 15th most powerful card in all Part the Mistveil, that card being Unravel Aggression. Now, all of these cards on the list are powerful, but I'd say this one's probably the worst, and it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not great. Because a lot of times it's going to be pretty on rate, because it costs 3 resources, it blocks for 5, it's a defense reaction, so that's pretty good. But 2 card to block 5, that's not great. However, it has the added bonus of if you've pitched a chi to play this card, which, I mean, this is a Mystic defense reaction, and Mystic decks kind of care about chi, you get to draw a card. So you basically get to use 1 card to block 5 damage, which is above rate. But getting into 14, we got Rage Spectre. Is a 2-cost, blue, Illusionist Aura. It's not an instant, so it will take up your action point. However, if you control no other Illusionist Auras, when you play this, you get to gain an action point. So this card will effectively have Go Again, which is pretty powerful, and it's a pretty cool interaction with another card that I'll talk about in a future video. But yeah, Rage Spectre is a super good card, and I love it because on your turn it has Ward 6, otherwise it has Ward 1. So you can basically play this on turn 1, have your action point right back, because it'll be the first aura you play, and then boom, attack with it for 6 immediately, only having to spend 2 cards. And that card will still stay in play so long as you don't take damage, which, it's easier to do in Enigma than you would think. But then getting into number 13, we got Visit the Goldmane Estate, which is a super powerful card from the expansion slot of the set, but it's definitely not the most powerful one on this list, and we'll get back to that in a little while. So Visit the Goldmane Estate allows you to make a gold in the Victor decks, and that's pretty good in Victor because it allows you to draw a card. But then you make an amount of might tokens equal to the amount of gold you control. So yeah, this card, it's a blue, it blocks for 3, it can get you value, and yeah, this card's good. And then getting into number 12, we got Persuasive Prognosis. Now this card, when it hits, you get to look at an opponent's hand, and you get to banish a card from it. And whenever you banish an action card with Persuasive Prognosis, you get to gain a life. And this card's nuts. But getting into number 11, we got our first legendary on the list, Meridian Pathway. This card is easily the least powerful of the legendaries that I'll talk about. And I'm really glad about that because Enigma is the most powerful deck in Part the Mistveil in my opinion. And I think that it just seems right that she should have the least powerful legendary because her deck should not be too busted. But Meridian Pathway is awesome because it has Ward 3 if you pitched a chi this turn, which, yeah, that's okay. But you can pitch a chi to activate this card's ability of playing your Illusionist Auras as though they were instants for the entire turn. So yeah, it allows you to flood the board with instants after an opponent maybe wiped your board, and you get to just basically replay it immediately. And yeah, this card's kind of nuts. Meridian Pathway it's powerful, but it's definitely not the most powerful legendary on this list because we got number 10, 12 Petal Kasaya. This card is basically the Fyendal Spring Tunic for Zen. And it should be, because it's way more powerful in my opinion. Because it says every time that you transcend, you get to gain a resource. And Zen wants to transcend a lot, because what you do, if you transcend with Zen, is you get to pitch that chi that you just transcended, and you get to search your deck for a thing with combo, and you get to make a Crouching Dagger. And every time you do that, you get a resource. So it can allow you to fuel the fire and just continue the combo strain and continue to have a massive turn. And 12 Petal Kasaya is just kind of nuts. Because in addition to doing that, and sometimes being a more consistent version of Fyendal Spring Tunic, it can still block, and you can still pitch a chi to make a Zen state. Which is not great, because you have to destroy this in order to do that, but still, that's pretty good. But the main spice of this card is allowing you to get a resource every time you transcend. But getting into number 9, we got Mask of Recurring Nightmares. Now this card is one of the 2 backbone cards in New. Because this card, one, it blocks, one, it looks super gorgeous, because, I mean, all the legendaries in this set look gorgeous, but this is one of the more gorgeous cards. But what Mask of Recurring Nightmares allows you to do is pitch a chi to then force the opponent to banish a card from their hand. So a lot of time, they're not going to want to banish a blue, because One, it turns on what New's wanting to do and taking advantage of the blues that your opponents have banished. But in addition to that, it totally screws up their turn because now they don't have a lot of good ways to pitch to play cards. So they're not going to want to banish blues. So they're probably going to want to banish something like reds. But that's not good for them either because that's their most powerful cards. So it really sucks for your opponent. And it really forces your opponent to be in a really bad spot and completely throw off their next turn only at the cost of one single cheat. That's powerful. But then getting into number 8, we got Manifestations of Miragai. Is an insane card because it's an instant speed illusionist aura first off. That's pretty powerful. It costs 3. This enters the arena with 2+1 power counters on it, but if you pitch to Chi, it enters with 4+1 power counters on it. Well, it has ward X, where X is equal to the number of +1 power counters on this card. That's where the power comes in. Because a lot of the time, guaranteed, this will have ward 2 and will attack for 4. Because Cosmo says that you have its damage is equal to its ward, but the +1 power counters on whatever aura that is also give it an extra buff. So it'll attack for 2, but with those 2+1 power counters on it, it attacks for a total of 4. But if you pitch to Chi to play this card, it's going to have ward 4, and it's going to attack for 8. Yeah, that's... what? That's insane. And it is one of the most powerful illusionist auras that Enigma has access to, in my opinion. But then, getting to number 7, we got Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast. Now, this card is the backbone of most Zen decks. Now, unless you're just playing a full-on rushdown version of Zen, you got 2 other versions of Zen that are available. The combo version of Zen, like the We Make Best video of Zen, where basically it's like bunches of Bonds of Ancestry, Descending Gust Wave, Fluster Fist, just full-on combo Zen. This card is the backbone of that because it allows your Crouching Tigers to have bonus names. This card allows you to turn on every single combo card in your entire deck that's not, cards I care about if Crouching Tiger is the last attack. But it does that too. So this card's nuts. I don't really want to go too in-depth because I could probably make an entire video talking about how this card's powerful because that's just how many lines that you can get into. But this fuels the combo version of Zen and the consistent version of Zen. But getting into number 6, we got Levels of Enlightenment. This card is, everybody, if you're watching this video, you probably know what Enlightened Strike is. That card's pretty powerful. Levels of Enlightenment is the Mystic version of this card, and it can sometimes be even better in my opinion, because Levels of Enlightenment pitches for 3. But it allows you to choose one of the following for each blue you pitch this turn. So a lot of times, since it costs 1, it's always going to most likely be at least one of these. And I'd say just having one of these is pretty good. Giving a +2 power buff to itself, giving itself go again, or, most importantly, drawing a card. Now, I thought this card was good, but then I played around with it in 2 different decks. It's insane. It allows you to have really good defensive turns, allow you to set up for future turns, but also push through a lot of damage and be super good aggressively. Plus it's a blue, plus it blocks for 3. It's just great. It's so incredibly flexible. That's where the power comes in. It's just insane. This card is one of the most powerful cards in the entire set and one of the most flexible cards in the entire set. I would say the second most flexible card in the entire set next to a card that I'll talk about here in a little bit. But getting into number 5, we got Bonds of Agony. Now this card is another card, and another backbone card that is insane in New. What New is wanting to do is disrupt the opponent and banish a bunch of stuff and just really make their next turns hard, and this card does all of that. So it's a blue, that's great. It blocks for 3, that's great. It costs 0, that's great. It has stealth, that's great. Because you can attack with this. If you've played or activated 3 or more reactions, this gets a +3 power buff. That's insane. And the ability to look at the opponent's hand when it hits, and then get to rip cards from their hand, and then choose up to 3 versions of that same card from the hand, from the graveyard, from the library, and banish them too. This card is so flexible in what it can do and what it can disrupt. It's just insane. It's just insane. This is arguably the most disruptive card in all of Flesh and Blood. That is saying something considering the cards that have been printed in Flesh and Blood. And if you look at all of the Wizard cards that have been made over the years, If you look at all of the Ranger cards that have been printed over the years, you look at cards like Command and Conquer, this card, in my opinion, tops all of them in the potential disruption that this card can bring. That's nuts. And this is number 5, by the way. So getting into number 4, we got Restless Coalescence. You get to move any amount of +1 power counters from among your auras onto this. And it's Ward 2. Okay, so it can be pretty good offensively. But what else does it do? Well, it can, as a once per turn instant, remove a +1 power counter from itself and poop out a Spectral Shield. So you get to, on your opponent's turn and your turn, poop out a Spectral Shield. You get to make 2 Spectral Shields every single turn cycle. And that's insane because it can just allow you to have such good defensive capabilities and options. It's just insane. I mean, the board states that this card can create is absurd. But then getting into number 3, the top 3, we got Traverse the Universe. The most powerful card that's not from the expansion slot in this set. And the most powerful legendary, and the most powerful a lot of things. This card is incredibly flexible. This is the most flexible card in the entire set. So this card, what it does is it blocks for 2. When it defends, you get to search your deck for a chi, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So this card can be played in any of the Mystic decks, and I think it's great in all of them. So you all know how Crown of Providence is a great card against cards like Command and Conquer. Crown of Providence is great in pretty much every single deck in the entire game. Traverse the Universe is basically the Mystic version of that. Not that it does really good stuff against cards like Command and Conquer. This card it's hard to explain. Like Shifting Winds of Mystic Beast, I can do an entire video just talking about Traverse the Universe just because of what it can do. Just because of how many things and how much power this card has. I mean, it allows you to turn on the huge combo, huge go wide turns with Zen. You're playing new, you want to do shenanigans with the Mask of Recurring Nightmares, or play a bunch of blues from the opponent's Banish Zone, or you're playing Enigma, and you just want to continually, consistently make those Spectral Shields, or turn on Unravel Aggressions, or tons of other different things. This card is there for you. So it just turns on so many cards and so many lines in every single Mystic deck in this set and any following set. But let's get into number 2. And number 2 is Kindle. Now, I don't play Kano. I don't play Wizards. I don't know how it works. But I know that Kano's a combo deck. And I know that Kano can very easily be pushed out of the meta thanks to cards like the Null Room cards and Oasis Respites and cards like that. But Kindle does a lot of things. It makes Kano good and better in a lot of ways. Because what Kindle can do is, 1, make Kano way more consistent. It can make the combo more consistent when you're not comboing, because this card has Amp 1, by the way. So it buffs the amount of arcane damage you do for the rest of the turn. If you have no cards in hand, you get to draw a card. Which, I mean, I've seen some gameplays with Kano. Seems like he never has cards in his hand because he's playing half of his deck every single turn. But yeah, Kindle is insane because it can allow you to fuel the fire when you're doing those big combo lines, or it can allow you to be more consistent on non-combo turns and allow you to keep pushing damage and keep taking the tempo back from the opponent. If they take the tempo from you, this card can allow you to immediately take it back. Or when the Kano's usually being pushed out of the meta, with all of those Null Room cards, with Oasis Respites, this card will keep it in. This card is the backbone of Kano, should be played in every single Kano deck as far as I'm concerned, and will just allow Kano to do things that he's never been able to do before. So yeah, Kindle, I don't know how Wizards work, but based on what I've seen, Kindle's insane. Kindle is the most powerful Wizard card ever made. And again, as the number 1, we got Shadow Realm Horror. Another card from the expansion slot that is absurd. What can possibly be better than Kano? Or Kindle, sorry. Well, the card that makes Levia an actual true meta contender and one of the better decks in the entire game. Shadow Realm Horror. A 2-cost 6 attack, that as an additional cost, you gotta banish 3 random cards from your graveyard. If one card with 6 or more power is banished this way, which is always going to happen, you get a +1 power buff to this card. So 2 cost, 7 attack. Okay, that's great. If 2 or more are banished this way, this has Go Again. 2 cost, 7 attack with Go Again? What? If you've ever played Flesh and Blood before, you know that that's good. But wait, there's more. Because while you are going to basically guaranteed be able to get that 2 for 7 with Go Again, you can also, a lot of the time, not always, but pretty consistently, banish 3 cards with 6 or more power. And if you do, you get to play one of those cards that you banished with this card from your banish zone this turn. So this card can allow you to more consistently have larger turns or just do more damage with Levia, or allow you to do that and then some, because it can allow you to play even more things and just do even more busted things with Levia, allowing you to play more stuff and basically get access to a mini hand. Yeah, this card's nuts. I don't really need to explain it. Shadow Realm Horror is insane in what it can do and the amount of power that it can bring to Levia. And like Kindle, it should be a 3-of in every single Levia deck for the rest of time. But anyways, with all that aside, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, you won't regret it. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope that you enjoy future Flesh and Blood, Star Wars Unlimited, Magic the Gathering videos coming soon. And enjoy.